And to further debate this, we are joined by Nsizwa Luthili, who is the school governing body chairperson. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on ANN7 Prime and for your time this evening. Firstly, I understand that the school governing body was only made aware of the allegations of sexual abuse on the 26th of September, even though they supposedly started in February this year. Is this accurate, and can you tell us more about how you came to know of these allegations?
Yes, indeed. We heard about these allegations on the 26th of September when we called a meeting for a ratification to ratify the interview and the candidate we've chosen for a deputy principal. That's when our principal, Mrs. Mtimkulu, unpacked the story to us, of which we urged her, and that was in the presence of the school governing, the ITSO, with whom we actually encouraged her to go and report the matter to the police station and the matter to be escalated at the district, as one of the speakers in the meeting of the SGP has alluded to.
Now, can you tell us, parents have alleged that the school discouraged learners from coming forward with the sexual assault allegations. Is this true?
Come again?
That parents have alleged that the school discouraged learners from coming forward with these sexual assault allegations. Is this true?
What has transpired during the course of the week was particularly that allegation that some of the parents mentioned that some of the teachers discouraged learners from mentioning this or from talking about it. So this is what we heard from parents, and they kept saying it.
Now, how is it possible that 87 cases of sexual abuse, and as we're seeing, more learners are still coming forward with this ordeal, and it supposedly started in February? How is it possible that this went unnoticed by the school governing body?
We are devastated. We equally devastated, and we were equally shocked by this, because we didn't know anything. We hadn't heard anything. Nobody came to us. No parent component came to us and say, "Have you heard of this problem?" Nobody came to us. We would say, in a nutshell, we are kept in the dark on this matter.
Now, you're kept in the dark, so who should be held accountable for all of this? The school is also claiming ignorance. What about the parents? What can you say to the parents who now have to drop their kids off, and should they be worried about their children's safety at schools? There
are measures that the Department of Education have put in place, and these include counseling by social workers and psychologists. And another institution here, I've forgotten the name, that has played a huge role in this process. And we believe that will breed hope to the parents. And we believe that from here henceforth, we, together with the parents and all stakeholders, should play a major role in ensuring that the lives of kids are protected, and that the school goes back to normality, that everybody goes through a process of counseling, that everybody hold hands and we move forward, as school governing body, as teachers, as the parents, and as the department, and that communication and that system or a way of communication is done properly. Unlike somebody saying this somewhere and somebody saying this somewhere, where there's no conciliation of facts.
So we talk about counsellors coming in. What about perhaps a screening process? Has security been beefed up at the school? What about the safety issues such as that?
Well, that is also key. The safety issue is key, and I believe that all stakeholders, including the department and Department of Safety and Security, will try and employ new measures, see a new way of screening and employing people who are properly trained to ensure that our schools run properly without such hiccups.
What do you think went wrong in this specific instance?
I wouldn't want to speak, in details about this matter, because it's sub judice. The matter is in the hands of the police. I might jeopardize, this process by speaking so loud. But of course, there are areas there are pointers in areas where we should focus and redress in the process.
Now, there have been reports, and we even had Mr. Steve Mabona, who's the spokesperson for the Department of Education, saying that the Gauteng Education MEC has said that the school governing body should be dissolved due to this. Do you have reasons as to why this department should not be dissolved?
I'm wondering where Mr. Mabona, in which world Mr. Mabona lives and which television he watches, because the MEC stood there and apologized to all stakeholders. And apologized. He never mentioned anything of disbanding the SGP and all those things. And I want to believe that the MEC heard very well, and we are willing to engage the department. We are willing to sit down, because since this has happened, nobody came to us and said, hey, I want to hear the side of the story. That's why today it was an opportunity for us as SGP to say the side of the story. But we have yet to hear from the department and other stakeholders. Anybody wants to sit down with us and say, okay, tell me what went wrong. We are not here to judge people. We are not here to say so-and-so is wrong. I think since the matter is sub judice, decisions will be taken there.
And do you have reasons as to why the department should not be dissolved?
Indeed, because we were kept in the dark about this, and we played our role. We urged the principal to go and report the matter to the police and to escalate the matter to the district. All the parents who came in during the course of the week, although some of us were not there, we were able to sit down with them, to calm them down, and to listen to them. You know, it was important, and it has been important during the course of the week for us as SGP and other stakeholders to listen, because when a parent notices that you listen to them, and that's where they become calm, and that's where they unpack the story in a proper way. So, of course, there are various reasons why we should not disband. We have worked, throughout the year, through thick and thin in this process. We were kept in the dark about many things, but most importantly, we were willing to work as a team, as a SGP. We were willing to move forward, up to date.
Talking about these parents' meetings, obviously, as you say, you had to calm them down. Angry parents who are concerned about their children's safety at school. What do most of the parents want? What are they calling for?
Parents have confidence in that school. That school has a very wealthy history of principals who've been there many years, who instill discipline. Some of the kids who school there, and I'm a product of Ebikloma, under the principalship of the former principal and the late, may his soul rest in peace, who instilled discipline in me. So parents have confidence in that school, and parents are disturbed by the fact that such a school with such rich history could find itself in this state of affairs. And we want to, it is our duty, we want to restore the confidence back to those parents. We want to stand up and dust ourselves together as parents and move on. We want stability, the school in a nutshell, because that's a historical school.
Where does this leave the perpetrator? What lies in store for him?
I think the powers that be, maybe the police, the Justice Department will decide. I may not be the judge in this instance, but I think those departments will decide what to do with the perpetrator.
Mr. Luthuli, thank you so much for your time here on ANN7 Prime. We really do appreciate it. That was Nsizwa Ntuli, who is the school governing body chairperson, who was live in studio. Moving on now.